Sheduer, you told us that this week felt like you were getting back to normal, being a starting quarterback, like you have your whole career. But this is going to be your first NFL start. What does that opportunity feel like in this moment?
Feels good, but we cool, calm, collective. Like this ain't nothing to us.
And what do you hope to show against this Raiders defense, your teammates, yourself, and these Browns fans with your play today?
I'm who they've been looking for. Appreciate it.
There's a gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
All right. Welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. So, Sheduer had a decent outing. He had a very decent outing yesterday against the Raiders. It was the perfect team for him to start against because the Raiders are trash, as we saw. I mean, they couldn't get a first down to save their lives. Geno Smith couldn't hit the deep ball, even if his mama's life depended on it. And also, their offense was so terrible that, as we all know, Chip Kelly got fired. He got fired yesterday. He walked into the locker room. They're like, no, bro. Go upstairs to the front office. They want to talk to you. They wouldn't even let him on the team elevator. They just took him straight upstairs. But in all, I would say that Sheduer had a Dylan Gabriel workman type day. All right. Outside of there was one big play that he made that Dylan Gabriel was never able to make, which is the rollout and throw deep as Isaiah Bonds finally earned his paycheck. But we'll get into that. But overall, before we jump into that, let's get into the parlays, okay? Let's get into the parlays. All right, hold on, get my camera right. There we go. So, all right, the under was 15 completions, okay? We took the 15 completions, so he didn't get that. But let's say he did it. All right, so under 15 completions. So let's see, that's a 6. That's $30. Okay, $30. So let's add that onto that. Let's see, 20. Yeah, I'm just going to adjust it. I'm just going to go ahead and make that. So because let's see, 0, 6, 7. Wow. Good Lord. What a parlay. All right. So under 15 completions, he had 11. Okay. So on the dartboard, he hit a 6. That's $30. One touchdown. On the dartboard, he hit a 17. So that's $85. And 157 passing yards. On the dartboard, he hit a 4. Well, I hit a 4. And that's $20, and beating the spread, which was Oakland was favored. I mean, the Vegas Raiders were favored by 3.5. And on the dartboard, that was a 20. So that was $100. So that's $235. Because he hit all of his parlays, that came out to a whopping $470, a new PlayStation, new PS5. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you can drop 5, or better yet, 6, you can drop 6 charities below. 6 charities below. What I will do, I'll take the dartboard. We'll use the dartboard again, and whoever hits the highest number, they get the parlay money. they get the $470. But it's got to be 6 different ones. It can't be you with 5 or 6 of your same ones. It can't be that. It's got to be 6 separate ones. If not, then I just eat the parlay. So you have until tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to get it done. Simple as that. All right. So if not, then I just eat the parlay. Well, nobody watches your channel. Whose fault is that? So let's get into it. All right. So let's read this. Browns reverse course will start Sheduer Sanders over Dillon Gabriel, which makes sense. So let's get into it, because I mean, the kid had a decent outing. Let's see how he does against the 49ers, which is a real team. I mean, the Raiders are just, their offense was pathetic. Anyway, let's read it. Sheduer Sanders' starting stint for the Cleveland Browns won't be a one-off. The Browns on Monday named Sanders their starting quarterback for their November 30th game against the San Francisco 49ers, following his win in his starting debut, Coach Kevin Stefanski announced. Dillon Gabriel has cleared the concussion protocol but will not take back his first-string role, Stefanski said. The announcement comes on the heels of Sanders leading the Browns to a 24-10 win in his first NFL start. The 5th-round rookie threw for 209 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Stefanski said last week that Gabriel would step back into the starting role once he was cleared, but the coach was non-committal on the team's plans behind center following the win over the Raiders. All right, hold on. No, this isn't what I wanted to see. Let's see here. Oh, no wonder I'm on the wrong page. No, this is the right page, yeah. So, all right, let's go back. So he's the starter next week. So let's go here. Sheduer Sanders versus Raiders. Stats, highlights, analysis for Browns QB. All right, so Sheduer Sanders achieved something no Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback had done since 1995 in his first start with the team. He earned a win. Sanders wasn't asked to do Sanders helped lead the Browns to a 24-10 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders in what was a solid debut for the 23-year-old rookie. Yeah, it was a solid debut. And this is courtesy of USA Today. Sanders wasn't asked to do a lot during Sunday's game. He only needed to throw 20 times in the win, but he did have a couple of good-looking downfield passes, including a 53-yard strike to Isaiah Bond that showed off his deep accuracy. Yeah, that was a beautiful pass. And like I said, Isaiah Bond earned his money. We'll talk about that later. We'll put a pin in that. Sanders also logged the first touchdown of his career. It came on the screen pass to Dylan Sampson, who caught the ball in the backfield and took it 66 yards for a touchdown. You know, the same thing that the Raiders kept running over and over and over and over again, getting very ugly results. They could not move the ball. So the Browns are like, you know what? Let's run your play against you and see how you handle it. And of course, Sampson went untouched for a touchdown. Sanders' stat line was modest overall, but it is significantly better than the one he posted during his brief, ugly debut versus the Baltimore Ravens, during which he went 4 for 16 passing for 47 yards and an interception. USA Today Sports tracked Sanders' starting debut versus the Raiders. Below are his stats and highlights from the game, as well as analysis of his performance and more. So here it is. As you can see, completions and attempts, 11 to 20. That's 55%. That's pretty much what Dillon Gabriel puts up. Passing yards, 209. That's Dillon Gabriel yardage. Passing touchdowns, 1. Dillon Gabriel style. Interceptions, 1. And that's not what he does, but it's fine. Passer rating, 87.3. That's Gabriel less. And rushing yards, -1 on 1 carry. And sacks, 1. Gabriel normally takes about 3 or 4. Let's see. I'm just comparing the quarterbacks. because the way this offense is structured, as far as your tackles being trash and your wide receivers not necessarily being able to catch or get a separation, all right? Horrible combination routes and everything. I mean, I don't know who designed this offense, Stefanski, but it's garbage. The offensive style is garbage. You knew what you came into the season with. You knew you only had half of a wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy. Okay, you saw what he did when he fumbled, sitting up here trying to do some feather stare twinkle toes. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get the yardage. Good Lord. Oh, he pissed me off with that. And oh my God. Don't get me started on Isaiah Bond, who I had such high hopes for, but maybe he'll learn. I mean, these guys have to stop playing scared and understand that you are playing with grown men, but that doesn't mean that you play scared. Play with confidence and pride. All right, so let's get into it. Sheduer Sanders earns his first win in the NFL start. Oh boy, we already got there. But Sanders says, okay, the Browns will take him. What the hell? The Browns will take him a 24-10 victory during which their defense starred and helped prop up Sanders during his solid debut. Right, because they just kept forcing the Raiders to 3 and out. I mean, that defensive line, I thought our offensive line was bad. The Raiders' offensive line made our offensive linemen look like Pro Bowlers. But then again, we have a very tenacious front seven. The Browns defense, for those of you who aren't Browns fans or don't watch Browns games, let me tell you something. Ever since Schwartz got here, that Browns defense will get after you. And now that they've added pieces along the line, you saw it wasn't just Myles Garrett wrecking havoc with his 3 sacks, with 18 overall, 10 in the last 3 games, plus these 3. That's 13 in 4 games. That guy is tenacious. Now that he's gotten comfortable in the defense with the rotations and everything, oh yeah. For some reason, he's decided to put the defense on his back, whereas he's been playing like a little meow for the past 8 years. He'll show flashes of his greatness. Yeah, for the past 4 games, he's been dynamite. He's been amazing. He's been legendary. He wants to get that sack. I think he's going to break Michael Strahan's sack record. I think he's going to do it. He's at 18, and you still got more games to go. The way he's been playing, he's going to shatter it. Unless he gets injured, he's going to shatter that sack record. The single season one, anyway. All right, so here we go. The Browns were nursing a 14-point lead when they got the ball back from the Raiders with about 5 minutes left in regulation. Cleveland ran the ball 3 times with little to no success, but ran a minute off the clock and forced Las Vegas to use 2 of its timeouts. The Browns appear willing to rely on their defense to try to close out the game. Sanders may not be asked to throw again unless the Raiders can quickly find their way into the end zone, which, of course, they got a garbage touchdown, but it didn't matter, which I didn't see because I have to admit, I fell asleep. After Sampson scored, I fell asleep live on the air because I was tired. I woke up at 4 and I just couldn't get back to sleep. So I just did a lot of meal prep and everything. All right, so Kevin Stefanski dialed up a screen for Sanders and the Browns with the team leading by 14 points in the fourth quarter. Sanders got the ball to backup running back Dylan Sampson, and the speedy rookie managed to find a seam in the defense. Sampson motored through the seam and got into the end zone. That will mark Sanders' first ever NFL touchdown and also puts the Browns ahead 24-3 with just under 9 minutes remaining in regulation. So here's that play.
defense blocking on the out.
Oh, hold on, let me kill the sound. I don't need the NFL to kill the video. So the Raiders had been trying to run their little screens all day, and of course, we pulled out the trick bag, and whoop. And Max Crosby, of course, who's right here, he was so ineffective. I mean, bruh, go ahead and just you should have took the trade. Should have went to the Cowboys or somewhere. But at any rate, yeah, once he got about right there, I knew he was gone. I was like, that's it, he's gone. That's a touchdown. Because the safety was nowhere around him. He was nowhere around him. See, the Browns are now leading 7. Oh, okay. Somebody's trying to mark this. Let's see. All right, we'll read it. The Browns are now leading 17-3 thanks to a 53-yard field goal by Andre Pisa-Smith. I'm having fun with his name. I don't hate our kicker. The attempt was set up by a 45-yard drive during which Sanders had a couple of dangerous throws, including a dump off to Dylan Sampson that was nearly intercepted by Jamal Adams, but once again avoided making a critical mistake. Sanders has now completed 10 of 18 passes of 143 yards. He still hasn't yet recorded a touchdown, but has thrown just one interception while suffering one sack. So apparently, okay, I think I see how this is reading. All right, let's see here. So this is reading, okay, all right. So clearly this is written from the bottom up. So that's what we'll go. We'll go bottom up. So what do we have here? So this was him, I guess, pregame. Yeah, getting ready. Doing the swivel hips, getting loose. Deion Sanders was there. He attended the game. That was good. You know, I mean, this is dad, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go.
There he is. Oh, lucky boy.
Go, Smoke, we got this, baby. The work already been done, bro. We already worked for this shit. You feel me and such? Let's do it. We believe. I believe in God. I believe in me. Let's do it. Hey, one on me. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead.
Practice that, man. All right. The only thing that bothered me really about this game is that, I mean, Judkins got his carries, but they didn't let Judkins close out the game. So, all right. So, Sheduer Sanders on what he hopes to show versus Raiders. Sanders was asked during a pregame interview about what he hopes to show Browns fans during his first start against the Raiders. I'm who they've been looking for, Sanders replied.
Sheduer, you told us that this week felt like you were getting back to normal, being a starting quarterback, like you have your whole career. But this is going to be your first NFL start. What does that opportunity feel like in this moment?
Feels good, but we cool, calm, collective. Like this ain't nothing to us.
And what do you hope to show against this Raiders defense, your teammates, yourself, and these Browns fans with your play today?
I'm who they've been looking for. Appreciate it.
Now, let me say this and understand this isn't hate, but I'm going to tell you right now. I've been a Browns fan for 54 years, my whole life. Johnny Manziel had that cockiness, as did Baker Mayfield. Of course, we know what happened with Johnny Manziel. He flamed out. He was a douchebag. And Baker Mayfield was way too cocky for his own britches at the time. As you can see, after he got humbled, he's calmed down. And he's found a home in Tampa Bay, and we wish him the best. So when Sanders was doing all of that and being the cocky and showing the wrist and everything, as a Browns fan, we've been there before. We've seen this before. It translates into disaster. So no, we don't need that cockiness in Cleveland. If you can curtail it, not be a me guy. You know, you saw what the Ravens were doing. They were sacking him, knocking him down and everything, and flashing their wrists. Same thing that the Rams were doing in the preseason. Curtail that. Save that stuff for the kids or whatnot. Save that for TikTok or whatever. But keep that off the field. Keep that out of the locker room. Be a team guy, not a me guy. Again, we've been there before. We've seen how that ends up. That ends up with us drafting a quarterback the next year, the following year. But we'll see. I mean, you didn't see that cockiness during the game, so I appreciate that. So let's see here. Judkins takes the direct snap for the TD. I like this because the Browns have been experimenting with this wildcat formation. They did it earlier in the year for 2 touchdowns for Judkins, and of course they did it again yesterday for 2 touchdowns. Hold on. Let me kill that sound. And Judkins went in with power, practically untouched. Look at that. Boom. Ran through 2 guys and scored. Loved it. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Now see right there with the celebration. I like that. Be a team guy. Be a team guy. Be a team guy. The Wildcat, they brought back the Wildcat. I don't know why the Raiders didn't know that we were giving the ball to Judkins. I mean, who else are we going to give it to? All right, so let's get back. I think this was all right, so this is the play that ticked me off. Not so much for Sanders. Hold on. Pause it. Blow it up. Mute it. I loved it, but I'll show. Okay, let me just let it play. All right, so as you can see, under pressure, Adams came with the blitz. Right through the hole, rolled out, beautiful. There you go, boom, got rid of it, and Isaiah Bond got it. Yeah, you could have scored. Oh my God, the look on Myles Garrett's face. Like, oh my God. I love the look on Myles Garrett's face, but what pisses me off is that, hold on, let me back it up. Isaiah Bond, your biggest problem is that, and I had such high hopes for you. I did a whole video talking about you. I had high hopes for you. But your confidence, you have to understand that you cannot play scared. Isaiah Bond has a horrible, horrible bad habit of jumping up in the air to make the catch. I don't know if it's because the football is huge and coming in hot, because he doesn't have a weak arm college quarterback throwing to him. He's got grown men throwing footballs to him, whizzing it in there. And Dylan Gabriel doesn't even have the strongest arm, but yet you're still jumping up in the air trying to make catches. Are you too short? You're 5'11". You always leave your feet. You have to stop doing that. You have to stop doing that. You know, I'll let this one slide, but you have a bad habit of leaving your feet. And that was a great throw. Look at Dion, that $1 million smile. Look, even the Raiders guy is laughing. Look, he's sucking on this glass like, wow. Everybody's laughing at that. That was a great throw. That was a great play. That was a great play. Let's take a look at it again. Boom. That was a Joe Montana type throw. That was a Montana throw. I'll give it to him. Let's see here. This was the interception.
Sanders, it's in.
This throw right here, I think this was, of course, all right. Here was the problem against the Ravens. The problem with the Ravens game was that Sanders was not hitting his hot routes. You see the blitzes coming. If you're studying your playbook, you know your hot routes. Who's going to be open? If they're blitzing this, then this guy's open. The offensive line, they make the signals. Whoever the center is, they post it. Make your calls. Pick this guy up. Pick this guy up. Anything that he feels that the offensive line hasn't picked up, double check. Get this guy. Get this guy. Get that guy. Omaha. You know, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady's were masters of that. Hey, pick up the blitz. Pick up the blitz. Change the signals at the line so that way, hey, you suddenly now become the hot route. Jerry Jeudy's the hot route. He's the hot route, as is Judkins. But he wanted to go to Jeudy. See, boom. He wanted to hit that quick route to Jeudy. You see Jeudy, watch Jeudy up here. Feels like Jeudy is open. He felt like Jeudy was open. He tried to squeeze it into that window. And the one thing that Sheduer said, he said, hey, look, I have to catch up to the speed of this game. Because this ain't college, boy. You know, these guys are, you know, pretty much track stars out here. Even a defensive end. This is a defensive end who he's right here. He dropped back. Keep in mind, this is after the snap. He dropped back from the left tackle. Drop back in coverage and boop, gotcha. And understand in the NFL, that's what we call a bang bang play. Bang bang play. Bang bang play. They get you. They will get you. Even Njoku was open. He could have hit Njoku, but you know, it's fine. He's a rookie. He'll learn from it. He'll learn from it. Let's see, what is this? Oh, okay. So this is Jerry Jeudy screw up. And this pissed me off, and I'm pretty sure it pissed off a lot of other Browns fans too, because this was an amazing play by him. He saw the pressure. Max Crosby got through the hole, so he rolled out right, pointed, boom. Jerry Jeudy wide open, and then he does this goofy What the fuck, Jerry Jeudy? What the fuck, Jerry Jeudy? What the fuck, Jerry Jeudy? Just keep running down the sideline. Just keep running down the sideline. What are you doing? You goofy son of a bitch. No wonder the Broncos traded you. Good Lord, you finally make yourself a great catch, about to make a great play, or at least a good play, and you out here prancing around like a Kansas City. Well, if you've seen Blazing Saddles, you already know how that ends. Oh my God. So let's the next play. All right, so this is Harold Fanning. I love Harold Fanning. Harold Fanning Jr.
Out two. Pedaling, rolling.
Harold Fanning Jr. is one of my favorite players now. He's one of my favorite players. This dude does not go down. Here he is right here. He block, release. That's the design of the play. Block. Hold on. Here he is right here. The design of the play. Chip, block, release. He's the outlet. He's the safety valve. Block, release. See Sanders' confidence in the pocket. Whoops. I didn't do that. But he made the catch, fought his way for at least a gain of what? 14 and a first down. But he had a couple plays. Harold Fanning Jr. has been like that all year. He refuses to go down. Of course, that's the pass to, Dylan Sampson. And that was pretty much the game. And I'm not mad at any of it. But I am mad at Jerry Jeudy because he's been playing like crap all year, and then he finally gets a chance to make a big play, and of course he fumbles the ball. Luckily, it didn't cause for the Raiders to go on the comeback and win the game, because the way Myles Garrett and that front seven was playing, it was amazing. I love the blitz that Grant Delpit had. They were lined up. It looked like that Grant Delpit was covering the running back on the left side. And as soon as Geno snapped the ball, Grant Delpit he looped around, went right through the A gap, right past the center, and was right there. Oh my God, Geno Smith. He was under pressure all day. He was 3-and-outing all day and missing deep throws. You know, very frustrating day for the Raiders. Very frustrating day for Geno Smith. But outside of that, yeah, I'm happy. Now on to San Francisco. If Sanders can beat San Francisco, which, I mean, we knocked them off before in Cleveland in a game that we shouldn't have won. But if we can beat San Francisco, or at least make it a game of it where he doesn't get battered and bruised, because the one thing I have noticed is that when he gets beat up and they're losing, trailing, he down in the dumps. You know, he gets very depressed. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. All right. As an NFL quarterback, you can't do that. You have to keep your head up high, even when you're losing games. You have to have that, what they call the steely jaw. You got to keep your head up. You know, this is not high school. This isn't pee-wee football. This is the pros. You win some, you lose some, but you never let it affect you to the point where people see you frown. Never let them see you cry. You understand? Never let them see you cry. Why do you think you see players when they make a bad play or whatnot, they go to the sideline, they take their helmet off, and they throw the towel over their head? You know, never let the camera see you cry. Never let the crowd see you cry. Throw the towel over your head. Pull out the iPad and cry into that and see what you did wrong. Stuck it up, Buttercup. But good, solid, not spectacular. Had two spectacular plays, but good, solid outing. Now he just has to build on that. But I'm glad that he toned down that temperament on the field. All right, stop doing no more of that wrist flashing stuff. Just get out there, lead grown men to victory. Show that you belong. The Raiders was the perfect game. The Ravens was not, but the Raiders are, because it helped build your confidence. Now, like I said, now you got to play San Francisco. Good luck, Buttercup. We'll be rooting for you. We'll be rooting for you. Peace.
I mean, we just want volunteers, not hostages.